Hello, my name's Simon Bingham and welcome to part of my video series for the JNCIE Enterprise course. Today's subject is going to be logs and syslogs. So what is syslog? Well, syslog is just a standards-based way of communicating log messages. The first thing you really know about syslog before jumping any further is a syslog message really has a number of things associated with it. Make no apologies, by the way, for using Wikipedia here. I have no intention of redoing a whole load of slide material, just copying other people's stuff. So this is Wikipedia. As you can see here, a syslog message has facility levels. What that really means is what thing is creating the message. In most of the cases, ones I'll probably be interested in are these coming from the Juniper devices, because the daemon will be your routing protocol daemon or your NTP daemon, or pretty much everything, spanning tree protocol daemon will be the thing creating most of the message we're interested in. Then each message has a severity level associated with it, and these are the severity levels here, going from emergency through to just debugging information. If we just look quickly at an actual Junos product, and let's do a quick show. So I'm under the Edit Systems Syslog stanza here, and this is what we get out of the box, factory default. So if you look at this, you get a first of all, you get a user, any user, and what that really means is this is where the messages are going to go. So this means with the user, an asterisk there means the messages are going to come to the display. So it means if something happens while you're configuring the box that it considers a critical emergency, you're going to see a display about that on the screen. Now the file command here, that really means, as you might guess, it's going to write the messages to a file. So what this really means is, this is the file name that's going to be written, this is the file, this is saying it's a file, and this here is saying any facility and any severity level. Now this really makes the statement below it redundant. And there's another one here, this is interesting, the Juniper will file or everything you type into the box, basically all the interactive commands, into a file called interactive commands. Now if you want to view the contents of any of these files, you just go run show log, and you can type in one of these. So we could have a look here, look at interactive commands, and we could see the commands that I typed in recently. So a quick thing we can do there is just to do last on the end of this, and you can see, in fact, obviously the last command I typed in was show log interactive commands. So what I'd like to do now is just really, rather than showing every possible circumstances, just show you something realistic. Now, a common thing to do with syslog is to actually forward the messages to something called a syslog server. A syslog server, I believe, Microsoft, you can use most of the Microsoft server systems as syslog server, or you can have standalone syslog servers. It's really just a centralized repository for this information. So to use such a centralized repository, you do it like this. You go set host, and you put the host name or the IP address of where you want these messages to go. Then you define the facility, then you define the severity level, and in my case that's what I'm going to do here. If we do show, so we now should start sending syslog messages to, now I have a little syslog server running here, which we should start seeing the messages come in on. So if we just commit this, now obviously we've just committed the config, which is actually going to start making a difference. But if I just do a commit again, right, then we should, obviously now it's going to start logging. So you'll see here there's loads and loads of messages appearing on the syslog server. Let's just do something, I don't know, don't ever do this in real life, but let's do a run restart routing. I've got some routing protocols running on here, so let's do a start routing. Let's just call a bit of a lot of stuff to happen. So we should see at the top here, look, we can see various links have come up and down, PIM events have happened, OSPF neighbour events have happened. This is all the kind of information you might be interested in. Now by default this doesn't, well, it looks to me like it does, but it says it doesn't store it in the method that's standard in the way Cisco uses. So if you want to do that, you can simply go set, we use explicit priority. Let's see how this changes things. So if you look here, it seems to be including this in the messages here. So let's just restart the restart routing and create a load of log messages. So yeah, so what it's doing, it's including the severity values, I think, here in the in those numbers there. But and we can see things happening here. We can see routing protocols have come up and down. We can see the exact facility they're coming from. Also think with them. Yeah, you can see actually this is a slightly different format actually, because it goes daemon and then you can see the routing protocol. You can see the different elements there. Look. So and what the point I was making before was all I really wanted to continue on with was don't go crazy with syslogging. I've seen situations in the past where customers have logged absolutely every event, practically every packet, and wondered why their CPU and their box ends up on its knees. So you know, use logging sensibly. You know, don't log every single thing you can. Also, what I want to show you was quickly, you see the file messages here. So by default, I believe it creates, I think it might be 1 meg files. So it creates a number of messages, then overwrites them. So we just do show file messages. Actually, just notice edit file messages. And what we can do is we can set the number of files. So we can say we want it to create 1 meg files, and they create 20 of them. So that will just this is the locally retained files. So if we just, I don't know whether we'll have enough information on here, but if we do run show files, I think it's files, run show, there we go. So we can see here we've only ever created 1 log messages. But what it will do is, if these files now, if this file exceeds 10 meg, what it will do is actually zip it up and store it on there, and then keep as many as you've asked it to keep. So that's just something you should know there, really. Right, now one just final last thing I'd like to show you is if we do show log, run show log messages, it is very late. You can actually get help on this. So I think you can do, is it run help, help log. There we go, help syslog, and you can actually put these messages into here and get information about the messages. Obviously this is a strange one here, but for example, let's just show you something we can do. Let's do show log, run show log messages, and let's filter it for routing protocol daemon. See if we get anything. Sorry. There we go. So we've got some routing protocol daemon messages here. Actually, let's find something interesting. Let's just hey, look. Right. So let's ask it about this. Obviously it's pretty obvious what it is, but if you know SPF, but let's do help log syslog message. And there we go. It gives you a little bit of a description about the message. That's quite useful because tell you here, I know SPF adjacency was established, so that's quite a useful little facility there to better, you know, to find out more information about these log messages when you don't really know what they mean. Okay, thank you very much, and good night.